Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2. Luther Harkon has been a problem in a way that I really wasn't predicting he would be. I thought once we had the rats in the jungle under control, cleaning up this pirate nonsense was going to be real fast. But I think he is finally overextended. I think we're going to be able to punish him pretty hard for this. Probably not this turn, but soon and forever. Alright, let's figure out what's the deal with the new army. New army's large and ready to move. As for now, we just move them up to the Star Tower.
Yes, master.
We can finish off our last 3 slots here with the battle site marker.
3 sheets to the wind.
So obviously we're gonna have to get the Fuming Serpent repaired, but I'm not gonna repair it right now because I think there's a pretty significant chance he just attacks it again on his turn.
Standing by.
Similarly, I'm not going to bother recruiting or raising dead right now because it's just not. We're not going to actually make use of the gold we spend just yet. Let's not spend it. Okay, Tim Fenn has all of the important skills. He could pick up some extra health. So what? It's 8% HP versus 4 defense and 4 melee defense and 3% HP. Yeah, if he gets killed, through melee, something has already gone so horribly wrong.
Time to move.
You need to get over here. You need to get over here. Right? What is Lenny Sealeg's gonna do here exactly? Because his army interaction action is hinder replenishment. Yeah, okay, I guess they have damaged units. Hindering their replenishment could be useful, as we can just like stop here. He's not gonna be able to get away from us. Silostra, like, I'm debating whether I think Silostra needs to come down here, basically. We have 2 armies. Our positioning is kind of bad.
All above board.
If I move these guys... Let's see, we could move out to a position where we're blocking his move to the Awakening. Part of my concern here is that I would love it if we could fight him with both of our armies at once. I can't actually get to the Blood Swamps. But I think he can't get out on the coast, because I think our settlement... Yeah, the zone of control of our settlement is blocking the whole beach. So I'm gonna march here, out to there. Hopefully from here we'll be able to get a decent move going, now that we're actually out of the jungle proper. This jungle has been such a pain. I'm really, really eager to be done with it. So Silostra might not be necessary down there. We can have her chase beastmen. I hate having her do such a low-level task, considering how powerful her army is. But positionally, she's really the one who ought to, right? We need to get her moving north anyway. Go ahead and attack these guys. I'm very annoyed about them being able to retreat from battle while in underway stance. Okay, Peggy needs to get ready to receive our new arrivals. And also, let's just get rid of these guys. I'm not going to call my allies to help. I can handle this one on my own.
Strike now, crewmen.
Okay, and yeah, this is 100% trivial. Frankly, them killing 41 of us is crazy talk.
Outside of the break.
Alright, she is really high level at this point. Is she going to be able to... Yeah, she'll be able to get all the important redline stuff, I think. I think we have enough skill points left. And then we have to... Let's see, we can't attack them this turn. We don't know exactly where they're going, because we've seen them land over here, and we've seen them go up the coast. And if I display myself over here, they probably will just run up the coast. Maybe what we ought to do...
Follow, shipmates.
Is move as far as we can move and then get into ambush mode. Because with the perfect cover buff, she should be pretty hard to spot. And hopefully they'll just sail right over here and land on the beach and we can knock them out real fast. Alright, Isabella. What are you... Man, what do we do with Isabella? I don't know. Just get back on land. We'll figure it out. I think she's going to be doing a lot of waiting around until we're actually formally finished with the Skaven. And now we have the question. Which one of these two settlements do I think they're in? That guy's making a run for the ancient city. I think they're in the ancient city. Let's see if that... And do we see anything over here at all? No. Maybe not?
All bones on deck.
I can't remember when they took the moon shard, if they burned it or if they took it over. It's been a long time since we were in control of it at this point. Let me raise something from the dead. Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna commit to this. I think they're up here. We've never seen inside of this ruin. It could be the place that they've been doing all of their building. Okay, you already have orders. Although I'm going to tell him to move now so that we don't have to watch him move very slowly at the end of the turn. You are headed for treasure.
Captain, reporting.
You are also headed for treasure, and again, if we click now, we won't have to watch her move later. We're not repairing those buildings, and I have 13,000 gold, so let's figure out where to spend it. Let's make some moves here. First of all, yeah, we do need to get defenses up at the coast. We could just upgrade money-making buildings wherever... Actually, you know what we should do? This is the only place where we're red on public order and public order is falling, right? No, the Titan peaks as well, but... I mean, we'll get that under control. So, let's try to fix up our public order a little bit. What makes the most sense? This. Upgrading that makes the most sense. Because remember, level 4 of these does not actually increase the public order in your province. It increases public order nearby. And then I think we're good to just make economic moves with the rest of this money. Let's like upgrade settlements that could have their money buildings upgraded. If we look at the places where we're making most of our money, do we have our do we have these things upgraded as far as they can be? They get really expensive. Here, we can do that. Yeah, okay. Anytime we have spare money laying around, you gotta make sure that we are just plowing it into continuing to increase the amount of money we're making. Although, in theory, our need for additional armies is probably... Well, we hope that our need for additional armies is past its peak. We're closing off some of these theaters of war, and when we move over to the east, things should be more focused. Okay, 2 new heroes just respawned, guys that we had wounded with our other dudes. So that's definitely where they are, because they respawn outside of a settlement you own. Alright, yep, Fuming Serpent gets hit again, no big surprise there. He burned it this time? Nope. He just goes to siege the Star Tower. Well, I'll give him this. He's ambitious. You can't deny that. Good news, though. He's definitely screwed. Please do not have 4 Khemri ships show up out of nowhere at this moment. I just don't... I don't have time for that. But what exactly are the exiles doing? Are they thinking... I mean, we can go fight Dark Elves together, I guess. And I know these guys have no love for Dark Elves. Skaven problems under control. I will say that they, the exiles did not really contribute to the Skaven problem. But they have fought some Chaos dudes for us. They fought some Dark Elves for us. They've done good work with the relatively little they have to work with. I haven't looked at the port at Erengrad in forever. 150 gold per turn. I'll tell you what, these Norscan savages do not know how to run an economy. It's embarrassing is what it is. We are undead, and in such poor shape that most of our jaws are falling off, and yet... It's just embarrassing for them, the comparison. And has the game locked up? Oh, no, okay. I guess it just has a lot of stuff to focus on. So we're showing as considerably more powerful than the Wood Elves. Are they really bringing a second ship over? They sure are. Alright, well. That army is way weaker than it needs to be to survive an attack, so that's a good sign. Just like, how do these Wood Elves not have anything else to do? How is this the best use of their two armies? And if they're doing this with their two armies, why aren't their neighbors devouring them? I kind of wonder if the Rogue Army AI is broken. Because we haven't seen any of them do anything all game, even when... Like, when Mengel's Manflayers were standing next to an empty settlement for, like, dozens of turns. And if their AI is broken, it needs to be fixed, because the Rogue Armies are a really cool thing. We could definitely just fire off this. So we're at about 10,000 gold now. Okay, that is a 10,000 gold button. It's not amazing. It's not bad, though. Can we please be done with this asshole? Alright, a decisive victory. Unfortunately, not the end of the faction, because there's another one in hidden encampment mode over here. But I don't think that she's going to hang out and deal with that. I think let's get in the water and head north. She has better things to do. Is the temple... Okay. Temple needs a full rebuild. That is definitely what we're doing with some of this money. We gotta get walls up around there. Alright. O'Bones McDonald has no movement and can never ever reach anyone anywhere.
I can and will.
I mean, like, do we just attack him? It probably would be a massive victory for us, right? We have 3 sets of mortars to his... So we have 12 mortars to his 5. He still has all his scary monsters, but, like, we just have a lot of bodies.
Ready.
Yeah, I just attack him, right?
Slay these cattle.
He chooses not to flee. Again, the man has bravery. No, he doesn't have bravery. He's too stupid to know that he needs to be brave here. He's too stupid to understand the danger. Which means that nothing he does in this situation really counts as brave. He does have deck gunners. We gotta be wary of those. My mortars are not going to be able to hit his mortars. Because of the low level and the very poor accuracy that being low level confers. So we're probably just going to have to let his mortars shoot at us while we shoot at his stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of his stuff is effectively mortar-proof, these single, large entity units. Really? 0? Well, we can't get worse. So a lot of his units are pretty torn up already. This is really just going to be whether his artillery and monsters can win the day, right? We're not really flankable from this side, so I like setting up way over here to minimize the effect of the bumpy terrain. The terrain here is kind of bumpy too, but I guess it probably doesn't really matter that much in this battle because of the fact that things we're shooting at will mostly be very, very tall. We'll probably be able to shoot them over the lumpy terrain. Oh, but we probably want to run the gunnery line longer and thinner to minimize the effect of the mortars. I probably don't want my 2 mortars together either, for the same reason. Then we have all of these gunnery mobs, which are good fighters that hopefully will also be pretty resilient against being shot with mortars. And you just kind of hang out over here somewhere. And we do have Spiteful Shot, I suppose. Hold on, where are their artillery units? They're right there, and they're shooting at something. Okay, can we... We are nowhere near being able to hit them. Okay, I'm just going to Spiteful Shot. No, I'm not. Huh, that's interesting. I certainly didn't click to actually cast that. Well, whatever. I mean, that is what in the end I was going to do, so. Alright, we are going to have to micromanage an awful lot of dudes coming in here. Yep, I'm pretty much just going to let them shoot mortars at me while I shoot mortars at them. We're shooting at things that are much more vulnerable to mortar fire. Okay, bats. Let's take these bats, and I'm going to control group them so I can grab them again easily. We're just going to charge the mortars. I don't think it's worth playing coy here. If they turn around and shoot at us a lot, that means that their shooters are distracted while they continue to advance. Yeah, let's just get rid of the mortars. And then we have about 8 million more units coming in here in a way that's really inconvenient for selection. Just, I mean, get generally over in this direction. We'll deal with you when you actually approach the battle. We have 3 bloated corpses that I'm not 100% sure what to do with. Alright, crabs, just stand tough. Let's get some focus here. If they lose their monsters, it's over. And that is really the battle that we're fighting, is just whether or not we can take down their monsters quickly.
Arise to my dominion.
And a lot of people not firing, despite the fact that, like, it is impossible for your shot to be obstructed. Okay. They fired off their movement slowing thing, which doesn't seem relevant to me. That spell is way too expensive for the thing that it does. The thing that it does that is basically never going to be useful. You could, like, slow enemies to keep them in your artillery range, I guess, but like, by the time they get into gun range, you're already shredding them so quickly. It's hard for me to imagine the force that this would actually be meaningful against. Alright, fire off a tide call. So, what is going on with the gunfire? Like, why are we not shooting? It's impossible for the shot on these guys to be obstructed. Okay, some of us should probably split off. I had a lot of people shooting at that guy, but a pretty clean shot over here. You should also be shooting at him, not that it will probably matter. Gunnery crabs have intercepted all of their massive giant monster crabs, which works just fine for us. And people are shooting now, at least.
Flee, Admiral.
Okay, hold on. So the bloated corpses need to make a run for over here. These Morghuls... I'm gonna have the Morghuls just charge into their gun line, I think. Alright, looks like our birds are doing the work. Yeah, let's just stop all their range damage. Send our pole arms in on stuff. You guys actually should head this way. Okay, over here we gotta manage this a little bit. So they have too many monsters for us to have intercepted them all. See, a lot of these crabs, we took the one out. Some of these crabs are just not getting shot at, and I'm not 100% clear on why. Alright, let's see. You guys all can also take out the Necrofex Colossus. I think the Necrofex Colossus is a higher priority than the crabs are. Not certain of that. Okay, so your job is to give those guys a hug. Your job is to give those guys a hug, and you... I would love to not accidentally blow up my Morghuls with this guy. We have to be a little bit careful. These bloated corpses are kind of micro-intensive, which I do not love. Okay, yeah, see, individual units who are too small to even see on the battlefield are becoming a problem. But I am 100% okay with extremely heavy losses, whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, just get it done.
Fleet Admiral!
Because once we drive him off of this continent, we probably can actually get peace with him, right? He was one of the factions who was willing to actually talk peace with us. And then we could just stop worrying about him. He can be somebody else's problem for the rest of the game. Doesn't that sound lovely? Okay, so their mortars are shredded. Now we're going to bring these guys back around. Ah, deck gunners. Those deck gunners could die. That would be cool. Okay, the monsters are mostly dead at this point. Mostly dead or dying. I think we've got this. We got it. Okay, they're falling apart all over the place. I guess you could just shoot these depth guard in the back. I mean, their whole army's going to fall apart in a second now, right? Okay, I think we've done it. Yeah, that battle was, that's tough. Monster-based strategies, in theory, should be pretty bad against the gun line, but their monsters are just fast enough. I guess if you bring enough of them, we can't kill them all before they get to us, right? Luther Harkin himself apparently is immune to crumbling. He's been at 0 morale for quite some time. His whole army has crumbled. We don't really need to be firing the mortars at him. Maybe we do. Hold on. Morngul's back off. Let's have all of the ranged units focus up here. Can we just shoot this guy to pieces? The Morgul's are, as far as I can tell, not damaging him at all. Bats keep shooting him. Is he bugged? It kind of seems like he's invincible. I mean, he can't be invincible. He's taking some damage. And the Morgul's certainly weren't hurting him, though. Oh, our heroes both have guns as well. Let's get on that. And in theory, he's crumbling. He has the little, like, red mist sparkles and stuff, and his morale is at 0. He sure isn't crumbling very quickly. Alright, here comes the rifle fire. This should hopefully accelerate the process slightly. You know, I thought of this whole move that he did here over 2 islands as being extremely audacious. But if the man feels like he might be literally invincible, that does explain some of his decision-making. Jesus. Luther. My friend, maybe you just want to join up? We could use a man like you. Okay, so now, with what's left of Charlie Lowe's army, plus O'Bones McDonald, we can finally take the Awakening, and then the Vampire Coast has no more presence on this continent, and I think they'll be willing to talk about peace. My guess is they'll be willing to talk about peace. And we just let them rebuild over in the east and be somebody else's problem. Maybe they can fight the Wood Elves for us. You know, it felt like a big win. His kill counts are pretty low, because he didn't really enter the battle with all that many entities. Also, we don't actually know what the trait for defeating him is yet, do we? What's his deal? He's a ghost vampire pirate man with multiple personalities. What could possibly be the trait for defeating that guy? It's usually something that's like at least thematically related to their abilities.
This isn't the gods.
Maybe we'll get immunity to psychology and like plus stats for our army when we're fighting sea battles.
More power.
Okay, we got his terrible shield that I don't care about. 15% magic resistance and plus Interestingly, plus 10 leadership just for the Lord when fighting at sea. This is not an effect for the whole army. Wow, that's not a very good trait, honestly.
All bones on deck.
As hard as he was to fight, I was kind of hoping that that would be a little bit more significant. Alright, well, we know what we're doing now.
The fleet.
I cut back to... Alright.
Order it.
We don't actually have to attack the Awakening now. I'm going to let this other army come up and support us. We're going to do this in an overwhelming and unfair fashion. Who wants Frenzy? You want Frenzy. Okay.
War and infamy.
Let's just siege that up and then bring in the reinforcements here.
Ready.
You just need to pull whatever from the pool. So we probably don't need a ton more rifles. Let's go like... And remember, this army, I intend Charlie Lowe's army to be semi-permanent. They're going to sit around and guard the south from the Khemri, while everybody else heads north to finish doing the job. Do we want more rifles at this point? We can finish off the rifles and then just grab one unit of kind of whatever. Sure, polearm guys. Polearm guys are always good.
Get shambling.
If we if we get in the water right away, this is my ocean region, right? It is contested. Really, I own every... Oh, I guess I don't own the Blood Swamp, and that's why it's contested. You know what? It doesn't matter. I was gonna say
What is your demand?
I want to stay in friendly territory and get healed, but screw that. Let's just do
Fill
this.
the sails.
Actually, can Charlie make landfall now? Yeah, we're really good sailors. Okay. Well, let's just do this now then. Charlie's army's pretty shredded, but also potentially unnecessary. I might not have needed to go to all this effort at all. But this will be nice once we finish this up. We take this, we take the Blood Swamp, and then there are no enemy settlements on all of Lustria. We've taken the whole thing. My hope was that we were not going to have to do that. It's an awful lot of extra work just to get 2 settlements, but at least it'll be over, right? We have to keep one army down here because Khemri and also occasionally, you know, Beastmen or Savage Orcs or whatever might spawn down here. I know that there is some Savage Orc land. But we can finally refocus the rest of our forces elsewhere and not be fighting this somewhere between 2 and 4 front war at all times. The Dark Elves are never going to know what hit them. So what's the smart way to approach here? We have to be a little bit careful. This is going to be harder than a lot of the siege battles we've done. Really cool looking, though. I suspect that is not supposed to be like that. But hey, crazy vampire magic can do crazy things. Look at this ship castle. So we're going to be a little bit more careful. We've not had to do a proper siege against the vampire coast before. They have guns. And that does make approaches a little bit tricky. Also, there's no place here that is safe from tower fire, which sucks. Reinforcements are coming in, like, pretty much dead center. I guess we just go for the center gate. Why is that not? There we go. Okay. Let's have our mortars ready to fire over here, and I don't know if there's a strategy that isn't just run forward. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. We're just running forward at the beginning of the battle. Is he? Okay, he is mounted, so he won't be able to get up on the walls. He and the Mourngulls, I guess, will just knock on the door while the Sirens climb the walls. Because one thing these guys do not have is a lot of elite infantry, right? So everybody who is not artillery or the gunnery white, just charge and we'll figure it out when we get closer. And then we're going to have to constantly grab units that are coming in as reinforcements and have them move forward. Even though, as ever, this should be a thing that we could just, like, set a rally point for. Alright, got their initial cannon fire going. Like, I'm way less worried about opening the gates against these guys than I have been against enemies in the past. Because I know that we can just fight them. Alright, they're throwing bombs at my Morngulls. That's not super polite. Alright, let's get these walls. I'm sure we can take these walls. It's nice to feel like you are at least on par with an enemy, melee-wise. That has not been our experience thus far this campaign. Depth guard with pole arms can aim for... Can we not climb up the interior of this wall? No, we cannot. Okay, I don't know exactly what we will do with them. Alright, just make it to the wall. Down here, we can just kind of like fire cannons through the wall. The Necrofex Colossus right at the gate is going to be a little tricky. Man, I really like the aesthetic of the Vampire Pirate gates and stuff. Pirate Coast is just really, really cool. Or Vampire Coast, rather. It's just really cool. What a neat faction. Alright, now we have to go back and grab even more guys and just give them the same order that we gave everybody else. Just get up here. Come to the battle, please. It would be really cool if my mortars were actually firing. And actually, I suppose the Necrofex Colossus should just approach, right? No sense in having him wait back there. Alright, let's, Huh. His spell wheel is showing as though he is a vampire guy. He is a vampire guy. He is of the vampire lore. But for some reason, he doesn't have his spells. That's... Yeah, that's real strange. It is treating him as though he is a Lord of the Deeps and he has deep spells. But it's showing the vampire... Okay, well, whatever. Hey guys, did you forget about the orders that I gave you about the door? They just decided they didn't... They're too good to fight this door. Alright, well... That ought to be pretty much the end of those rifles. I'm going to actually have the Depth Guard head up these ladders after the Sirens, because I think we're gonna have a tough time with the battle on this side of the gate. My Sirens got hit really hard as we were approaching. And, I mean, we're firing up onto the wall, but you know that has limited value. Alright, you guys need to get up there. And, yeah, honestly, secondary mortar crews just moving into range is all we can really hope for. There's some deck gunners in pretty good position, actually, firing up onto the wall. Not a lot I can do about that. Sure would love it if I could heal. Okay, now we have access to the gate. Right, I can't summon crabs, though, because there's too many units in my damn army. Well, what would be really cool is if everybody in this group of dudes would figure out a way to kill this Necrofex Colossus. O'Bones McDonald should definitely fight the Necrofex Colossus. And honestly, the Morngulls should move through and try to do something else, but I don't think he's gonna just let us run past. Let's see if he will. Let's see if we can just slip right by him, because he's... Nope, we cannot. Okay, well... Some of my gunners should actually be able to shoot him. They've committed so hard to defending the wall that if this Necrofex Colossus falls, we're just all the way inside the settlement. And he is actually getting torn up pretty quickly here. Yep, just took a big old cannon shot in the face from ours. A little bit of Battletech action here. There's his crew disembarking to try to save their own lives. Oh, you know, I'm not using Tim Fenn's abilities at all. Not that it matters much. Go and refill his ammo before he enters the city. Yep, I think this one's over. That probably sounds a little premature, but like we are through the breach here. At this point, I'm probably going to just take all of my units on the ground here and abandon the walls. Our units that are already on the walls can fight on the walls. Actually, you guys run over here and kill those dudes. Yeah, our units that are already on the wall here can take the wall or not, whatever, I don't care. And then we're just going to run inside and take over the city center as soon as we break through whatever else they managed to assemble for us here. And I mean, I'm going to grab all of the rifles and tell them to get inside, and they're all going to try to climb over the wall and get stuck for no reason. There's a door. I know everybody wants to follow orders as fast as possible sometimes, but just use the damn door. Here, this is what I'll do. Tell them all to go kill that mortar. Let's see what they let's see how they handle that order. They're going to run through and get stuck on stuff and get into trouble, and it's all fine. Right off of Vanguard's Revenge, I suppose. I don't know if this is actually going to do any meaningful damage. We could... yeah, okay. Fog of the Damned. For some reason, the spell became unselected without me even, like, clicking or anything. Oh, one of our units is dead. Some of my own crabs. And, like, this is a battle where it truly does not matter what happens to our forces. This is going to be the last meaningful battle in this area for these guys. So they will have plenty of time to just regain health as they sail north. Or just sit around here defending, depending on which one we're talking about. So losses are irrelevant. All that matters is winning. Yeah, okay. The wall is pretty much ours. Those Depth Guard are tearing my Sirens apart. Jeez. We're having a hell of a time getting any kills over here.
They shall fall.
My Lord is fighting, right? Because he should be quite good at fighting these guys. He is a polearm unit. Also, we have polearm units in here. Like, just get them killed. All these masts and stuff that have been installed in the buildings for whatever reason are really blocking my my ability to give orders, which is kind of weird. Are we not fighting the enemies? There's a unit of Death Guard here that I actually can't give orders on. Also, my Sirens keep coming unselected. Well, those aren't my Sirens. That probably has something to do with it. Alright, can you please get through here? Mongols, just like everybody, crowd the gate. Crowd the gate and just press forward.
Enemies, Guile.
You know what? I'm going to summon a unit of crabs a little further forward. We're just going to have them run for the city center. All they have over here is a gunnery white. None of this other stuff should be able to fight in melee at all.
Eager to kill.
I don't know what is taking so long here. They put down some Sirens. Let's shoot at those guys. Fire.
Curse on you.
Okay, it seemed to have done actually 0 damage, but it did break the morale.
Magic.
Because as we all know, Sirens will just break and give up at the drop of a hat. Oh hey, some of my units of gunners actually made it through finally. Yeah, the ones who are climbing up the wall instead of going through the gates actually should be able to get something done here. It's going to take them a while, but they should be able to get through. It's weird that they managed to make the gates completely impassable to all these other ones, though. It seems like all of these units here got to the point that they're at now by just walking through the massive dudes, but then they decided to stop. Keep their melee attack nuked. It's okay. At this point, they are now basically holding the wall, but in a way that doesn't really matter at all. Also, for some reason, I cannot get my throat clear. How are we all doing? Why are you guys running backwards? What is this? Go forward and shoot enemies with your gun. What are you doing? Why is... Hold on. Why are multiple units, when ordered to run forward and fire, running backward instead? Here, shoot those guys. Something. Just do something. Oh, that was a pretty good shot. You'd think it'd be hard to aim while walking. Oh, apparently the Necrofex Colossus is going to lead the charge over here. We keep debuffing them.
That's on you. I know you lied.
Alright, very, very, very slowly we take the center. The Morngulls have gotten far enough away from us that they've become invisible again. I'm just going to walk this guy into the city center, and the Morngulls can show themselves and fight, or not, whatever. There we go. To remind the gunnery mobs what their job is. And they're very, very slowly funneling troops into the battle around the gate, but fast enough, apparently, to keep all of my units from being able to get through and participate in battle. Right, all of the monstrous units also just run forward. Ignore everything else that is happening. Well, they finally came down off the walls, which I guess is good news for these units of... What is this? There is something going on with the targeting AI in this game. What order did I give that could possibly have been interpreted as run all the way to the edge of the map? Also, is this another unit of Morgulls? Nope, this is some depth guard. Okay, again, these guys just like no interest in any of the orders they've been given. Alright. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we just take the town center? Alright, they finally... The morale bar disappearing entirely is the army finally breaking. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, that was more difficult than I was expecting in a weird way. I really did not foresee all of our units getting held in place by some sort of force field at the gate that prevented us from being issued orders while we are near it. Some of the gunnery mobs, like, I just don't understand what was happening with our gunnery mobs there. We issue an order that they all have to try to mob to, and I understand why sometimes that causes an issue that makes them, like, want to climb over our ladders on the walls. They're trying to not all just jam into the gate, right? But what part of that could possibly have been interpreted as, like, run off to the side of the city and just stand there, or flee to an edge of a map that has nothing to do with any of the locations where the fighting is happening? It's very strange. Seems like to keep your units doing the things you actually want them doing, you have to do an awful lot of micromanaging sometimes. Like, no, don't run that way. No, don't turn around. Alright, so, occupy. Scroll of Shielding is ours, and get some traits and stuff, and now Luther Harkon is down to just the Blood Swamps down here on this continent. He still does own... He owns something over here, right? He did. Maybe the Wood Elves took all of that from him? Well, it says he has 2 settlements. So he owns something somewhere. We're gonna take the swamp over here, obviously. Just kick him off of our continent entirely, and then he can be somebody else's problem. Alright, so she used all her movement. Isabella. What's up, Isabella? I think Isabella's job is just to, like, stand in the circle of destruction. Hold off the Dark Elves, although they don't really need too much holding off. They've not really been doing anything. Thing has been empty for, at this point, a couple dozen turns at least. You should level up on Bones McDonald. He hit level 20, which is a lot more relevant for people who are not already immortal. Yeah, okay, he is an Admiral of the Deeps. It's weird that it was showing the vampire thing.
Admiral of the fleet.
I have a hard time keeping track of which of my lords are which, sometimes, with the magic.
Swiftly now. Fight.
Alright, there you go. Here they are, with not much in the way of an army, but, as we suspected, a very built-up settlement garrison. Well, one more huge battle, and I think this actually removes them from the game, right? And Rictus is on one settlement, yep. Alright, I see no reason to delay here. Let's take our overwhelming forces and get it done. So they have some Poison Wind Globadiers, which are the anti-large Globadiers. They have none of the anti-infantry Globadiers. That said, Poison Wind dudes do still throw clouds of poison gas. So, wait a second. Why is my reinforcement army not showing up? Huh. Okay, there we go. That was weird. We were definitely close enough. Alright, let's fight this battle and finally eliminate this other Skaven clan from the game, and then I don't want to maybe make any promises that I can't keep to, but maybe we're done fighting Skaven for the entire game. It's possible, at least. No more offensive ambushes. We dealt with Nagaroth. We dealt with both of the major Skaven factions. There was a Skaven faction that started... there's at least one major Skaven faction that starts over on the eastern continent, but it looks like they have been dealt with. So, fingers crossed, this might be the last rat battle. Oh hey, look, it's that same siege that we've done several times. Well, I suppose that's a fitting send-off. Again, we're going to do the thing that we do in this siege. This is pretty much just a walk forward and fight them at the walls kind of thing. Alright, so you two just go bang on the door. You help them. You guys just make for the walls as quickly as possible. Apparently these units were not placed on the ground. Yeah, the order here and the order here are completely different. And then the gunners just move up to a position where hopefully we can get some fire off, and also we're only in the firing area of one tower. Although actually it looks like they didn't bother to take control of this tower, so maybe the guns go this way. I can't imagine the Mourngul Haunters are going to take a huge amount of damage from some slings. Well, a lot of these are either clan rats, and so not really even worth the cannon fire, or storm vermin, and so not going to take damage from the cannon fire. It's unfortunate. Okay, this continues to not really be a problem because they have no idea how to use it. Would Burke Black just turn around and take these guys out real fast, maybe? And then, I mean, they're grouping up pretty hard here. Would be an okay place for a purple sock. Yep, and it's going to continue to do damage almost any direction it moves in. Wow, it is moving in the ideal direction as well. It's not bad for a single spell cast. And they're trying to flee from it, and it's kind of chasing them. Alright, they eventually did bother to take the other tower over. Well, let's see if we can't do something about that. Honestly, if the Morngul Haunters get through the gate, that might, what? Hold up, what happened to Burke Black here? Why is he almost dead? He spent 10 seconds fighting clan rats.
Slaughter. At your service.
Well, could you maybe heal him? Did that Morngul really jump away from the gate just in time to intercept my spell click? It absolutely... That's extremely frustrating. What complete nonsense. Ugh. Why would it be doing like a backwards leaping animation? Alright. Yeah, you guys, they summoned the clan rats on top of the only units over there that are competent at melee. This is what we have to fight against. Alright, let's just get this done with. I'm feeling a little frustrated with this game today. Stuff is happening that that there's absolutely no reason for. You guys need to also come over here. I will say that these sieges are getting a little... This siege in particular, a little tedious. Like, we fought this exact battle so many times now. This will be the last one, but that doesn't make it any more fun. I think they really just need to have more maps. I think that would help a lot. Alright, well, it looks like they've pretty much already lost the interior. Other guys up on the wall are fake surrendered, so I guess we got to keep somebody up here to keep attacking them. I'm going to pull a bunch of units of Sirens down, and let's... Okay. Again, summoning their clan rats on melee units instead of on ranged units, even though there are ranged units right there. Have all the units try to get inside. Alright. No big surprise, the very developed Morngul Haunters, even though they're fighting spear units, just absolutely shredding the opponent. The Morngul Haunters are terrifying. They're putting so much effort into fleeing the battle. What if we just didn't fight them, though? Why didn't anybody think of that before? If we don't fight them, we won't die.
Fleet Admiral.
Alright, keep moving, come on. Now we're having to do a lot of babysitting here, like units just deciding that they don't like their orders anymore and they are done following them. I don't know, this is... I have a harder time figuring out when the optimal time to use the shanty is in these battles where we're not... There's no point where the whole army is fighting at once. Because that's when I really want to do it, right? When a significant percentage of our force would get benefit from it all at the same time. But in a battle like this, there's not a time where that is actually happening. Alright, we should be able to take the center of the city pretty soon.
Blood dispel. Of course.
You don't have... Oh no, he does have Overcast, okay. We have so many lords who are like level 2. Who don't have their stuff worked out. I forget who is who. Like this guy. Just... Nope, done with those orders. You know what? I'm faster than those storm vermin are, I think. I'm just gonna go around this obstruction and go fight the siege crew. And if they want to follow me, they can. Alright, get over here and fight all those guys. You get over here and help fight those guys. Some of these Sirens are not actually engaging in battle. You can come and help with this.
See, Nigel.
Alright, yeah, this is pretty much over. The storm vermin did, in fact, completely lose track of my haunter. So now he's just going to get in here and murder everybody in the town center. The gunners are very, very slowly executing some version of the orders they were given. Actually, why don't you shoot those guys? Now, don't be in a hurry or anything. It's not like this is important. Man, I can't wait to go back to commanding Silostra's army, you know? In a lot of our other armies, we have a serious, like, killing problem when we don't get to use the rifles. But here, we're not in any danger of, like, losing the majority of these units of Sirens, but they sure aren't getting the job done very quickly.
Fleet Admiral!
Also, these Sirens... Right, sorry. We aren't in any danger of losing Sirens from enemy damage. Of course, it is always possible that the enemies will make the Sirens sad and then they will just die of sadness. That does happen all the damn time. Oh wait, the Storm Vermin finally found him. Okay, so these units are at 0 morale and terrified and stuff, but not actually running away. There we go. Okay. Everybody move forward. Let's just get into the city center as we break these dudes apart. Seems kind of like nobody is following the orders they were given earlier. Come on, dudes. We are through with this part. Let's... Well, there are still some storm vermin with halberds who apparently are very resilient. How dare they? How dare they survive? Yeah, see, like, we have rifles who are just literally not moving. I almost want to just Control A, select absolutely everybody, and click their city center. Well, those siege crews are dedicated. They are currently being murdered, but nothing will stop them from firing the catapults. And I am absolutely 100% just going to ignore those slingers. Nothing about what they are doing is relevant to this battle. You can't kill ghosts by throwing small rocks at them. It just doesn't work that way. Alright. Losses were definitely heavier than they would have been if we had carefully micromanaged every aspect of that battle, and also Burke Black wouldn't have died for literally no reason. Possibly. But the important thing is, it's over. We're going to have probably several turns of just walking ahead of us as we move up towards Dark Elf Town. And I will probably just not record a bunch of that. We'll get into position, and then we'll pick up again when we are ready to fight the Dark Elves, because I doubt anything terribly interesting is going to happen in the interim. I guess there's still that Wood Elf army off of Ulthuan that we have to run down, but those two ships are approaching us pretty far apart. They do not stick together well. My suspicion is Peggy Rains is going to be able to pick off one of them. I might even be able to get the one near the shore this turn. And then it should be no problem to fight the other one one-on-one. We've beaten those exact armies a whole bunch of times. I feel like at this point, that's kind of my main complaint here, is that so many of the battles are, we've done this exact battle so many times.
Another victory. There's treasure and grace.
Occupy it.
All bones on deck.
I don't know. Yeah, somebody temporarily hold this army, because Burke Black died of forgetfulness or something. Also, don't turn my camera. I don't know why it decided the camera needed to be turned 90 degrees. So, the ancient city of Quintex. Strategic location of special importance. What is the thing? No, of course not. It doesn't even have a special capital building. You know, for a faction that's encouraged to sail around the world, that is not what I did. For a faction that's encouraged to sail around the world and take stuff over, we sure don't get to participate in, like, almost any of the strategic locations. Alright, let's build up all the stuff we need to build. We certainly don't need that. We gotta take the moon shard back so that we can get the public order commandment. But that's really just gonna be like the one army, Ronnie Jackson's army, hanging out for a little while and making sure that things are in position while we move this army forward and go fight Dark Elves eventually. I don't know, man. So we have a full public order building here. I probably should actually destroy the wine. Just get public order buildings up in all of these places. Actually, I'm going to destroy this too, because if we're going to have a firearm recruitment building here, we want it to be tier 4. We don't need that either. Okay. Who has unassigned skill points? Oh, Charlie Lowe. I guess let's focus on blue line stuff. It doesn't matter too much. Benny just keeps running forward, and again, we're just clicking so that we don't have to watch the very slow-moving stuff happen at the end of the turn. Lenny Sealegs has very little to do. What can he do to this? No, don't. This. Okay, we can just damage buildings, which we don't need to do. So Lenny Sealegs is going to... Does O'Bones McDonald want him? Yeah, sure. We'll take him north in this army. It's possible that we have too many heroes. So where was I going with you? There's a treasure hunt over here somewhere. So that is a little bit south of where we are now. It's one of these big. It's one of those big skulls in the mountains, right? Around here? They're pretty hard to miss, I would think. Okay, I don't know. Somewhere over here.
I hunger for blood.
Head Violet, head this way.
Captain, reporting.
Alright, you're headed over here. I'm pretty sure that this process, as cumbersome as it is still faster than watching them move at normal animation speed after the battle's over. Or after the turn's over. I don't have any idea what to do with you.
Going, scum.
Okay, we can certainly afford to rebuild the Fuming Serpent now, and in fact we gotta get walls up around it as quickly as possible. Public order should recover? Yeah. A bunch of this is due to provincial instability, so we'll be fine on that. We gotta take the Blood Swamps. We're never going to have the Pox March, probably, so this settlement is always going to have some public order issues. I'm definitely removing this building. Let's see, we need to get a public order building installed here. We're never going to have our commandment. We do have a special settlement garrison. Is there another special building? Nope, it's just the garrison. Well, that's fine. That's still fine. Okay, so. Objectives. Check this out. 5 of 10. Yeah. Alright, I think that we are good for this turn. No, sorry, you are showing up as not having any movement in the browser, but that's because you're in ambush mode. I don't know. We might actually be able to attack that. I'm going to try. Because I think we're going to get in the water so close to them. Yeah, okay. Well, let's fight Dursley real fast. Obviously, I'm going to have to manually resolve this one, even though I expect that we will lose pretty minimal bodies here. The auto-resolve just loves wood elves, it seems like. They have a couple units of cavalry, some eagles. I do not think that the elf eagle is a very good unit. It's a single model flying unit. You would think that, oh, you can, it's kind of like a baby dragon, right? You can have it fly over and attack weak enemies along the back line. But I think during our High Elf series, I think we saw an eagle lose a fight to a siege crew once. Like, they're so bad at fighting that they can't really do their job. Okay, cool. Probably doesn't actually matter. Alright, I seem to remember the terrain here being, yeah, it's like a little uneven in a way that I'm sure will mess with us. But what we can do is just set up along here and then move forward at the beginning of the battle. And since we're going to be moving forward, we can just put the siege crew up here. All you guys, I mean, like, we can just kind of be wherever. It doesn't really matter. They can't attack us at the beginning of the battle. We will have time to set things up. So, you guys, what I really want is for you to set up, like, along here. Then we want to have defenses around the sides to receive the cavalry charges that we know are coming, because they have cavalry. And then, I don't know what to do with these guys. I guess just get into a position where we're ready to defend. Okay, you know what? We'll have the polearms stand on the siege weapons, and the deckhand mobs kind of spread along the whole back of the line. So if they try to do a full circle around charge, it doesn't really affect anything. That button, and... okay. This should be pretty straightforward, I think. We can fast forward this initial walking phase. Some good fire there from the Necrofex Colossus. Yep, and they're just doing the thing they always do. Again, just the thing they always do. Alright, so we definitely want to hit the Way Watchers with the mortars. A little bit of focus fire here. Nobody needs an invocation just yet. These guys are coming directly at us. Nope, they kind of changed their minds. Oh, don't chase them then. We're going to make really short work of those eagles, I think. Or maybe not. We're actually not doing any damage to them. There we go. You know, it's... even with our units, our gunnery units that have a lot of XP and thus are more accurate, are still kind of inaccurate. So we are going to have problems sometimes with spiky damage. Just because, like, a bunch of the time we don't really hit the enemies. Alright, now is probably a good time to start firing off invocations. So, let's... I guess over here. There we go. I want to make sure we're getting the crabs. You focus on the Wild Riders for the moment. Durthu is getting got. It looks like we don't actually need these defenses back here, although these Wild Riders are around to the side enough that they probably could evade the Rotting Prometheans. Also, apparently the Wood Elves have a spell. Did you see that debuff? Wood Elves have a spell that reduces accuracy by 60%, so that might have something to do with our shooting as well. These guys be running through. I guess these guys can just run through the front as well. It looks like they're not going to be necessary down here. You can focus on that guy. Alright, so Durthu's going to make contact with our ranged if he wants to. My plan here is just to have them withdraw. Oh, he's got magic spells. He's shooting eye lasers at us. Have the deckhands run through and try to catch the charge. And then once that works, turn around and finish him off. Alright, artillery fire is doing what artillery fire is supposed to do. There's a tree man all up in my business over here. Can we maybe fix that? Can we be gone with this tree man? Okay. Battle's over, I think. Yeah, it seems unlikely to me that they recover from this position. We probably will lose this unit of crabs. Come on, guys, hold out. We killed Durthu, so that's going to break their morale down pretty badly. And definitely have our gunners turn on these Wild Riders, although I clicked the shield right, or the... Really, this flag represents those units over there? I would think that this flag represents those units over there. I want to shoot these guys? No, those are Wildwood Rangers. Yeah, I'm not 100% clear. Okay, so like... Yeah, most of this unit is over here with this other unit, I guess. Alright. What else? You guys could just, like, charge their Way Watchers. Since we've broken the enemies on this side, I think that's probably, like, this whole half of the line is just charge their remaining units on this side. You probably are needed over here. So you guys don't really have a role anymore. I think the smart play over here might be... Let's reorganize facing that way. And on this side, I mean, we still have Way Watchers to shoot at. I think that's probably the most useful thing that Mortars could be doing right now. Can we, like, nuke the stats of some of these units? I would love it if that unit of Rotting Prometheans didn't actually die. Alright, they see what I'm going for with the polearm wraparound. No, they're dead. I mean, the Necrofex Colossus is doing really good damage to these guys. The Necrofex Colossus is just such a great unit. I'm always pleased when a unit that is this cool is also very effective. Because, I mean... You know, I am going to be compelled to play the game in the way that is most effective. Losing is not that fun. It's useful, it's valuable, but if I can not lose, generally I will. And I don't want to have to give up playing in the way that is cool and fun in order to play in the way that is effective. It's nice that we get both of them in this thing. So I don't think... They weren't in full sail mode, were they? He might actually get to retreat from this battle. But this should really blunt their little push. Unfortunately, now we have to get Peggy Rains to a place where she's not going to get attacked by Orion immediately. I mean, no, we don't have to. She probably would survive that battle. But it would be better. Things will be less close if we can engage him on our terms. Let's see what that looks like. Hey game, that was your cue. Let's see what that looks like. You're done loading. Let's see. Okay. If Durthu does manage to sail his army away from the battle, we probably don't. Okay, I was gonna say we probably don't have the movement to chase him.
Admiral of the fleet.
Peggy Rains just keeps getting more and more stats for all those gunnery mobs, and then we can. How far away is he?
You dare ask this of me?
Also, why come over here with only 19 units in your army? That's a weird thing.
The crew are restless.
We're going to be almost back at full health. I'm wondering if maybe the best thing to do here is to get on... to head over toward Lothern and use Lothern to get out of the water. I could probably just get back on land here. I know that the movement area does not depict land, but if you're close to the shore, you can pretty much always get back on.
Landfolk are weak.
Okay, I don't think they'll be able to attack us here. If they do, we'll fight them. So now we're actually done with the turn. And like I said, we might just skip the next several turns. I'll reposition people. I'll of course turn the recording on if something interesting happens, but the next several turns are going to be a lot of like, let's go north. When we're in position to actually fight again, we'll probably pick the series up. So that is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back next time when something interesting will happen. Not the same thing we've seen a dozen times already. Probably. And we'll see you then.